Hey guys, so in this video, I'm going to be budgeting my part-time paycheck. January is a magic month for me, meaning I get 3 bi-weekly paychecks in this month. I've always had people ask me, how do you do your budgets when you have a magic month? So if you want to see how I do that, stay tuned. Hey y'all, so before I get this video started, let me give a quick shout out. These were the first 3 comments in my last video. If you want to be featured in my next video, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell and come show me some love when I drop a new video. What's up you guys, it's KeAmber Vaughn aka CoachKe coming back to you with another video. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and if you're not new, welcome back. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and also tap the bell so that you are notified of every new video that I post. So as you guys can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be budgeting my part-time paycheck. I am a registered nurse in the psych specialty and I work 25 hours per week. That is the only income that I have outside of YouTube income. If you missed when I budgeted my January YouTube paycheck, I will link that up in the eye in the sky at some point during the video. So let's get started. So before we can actually do the current budget that starts tomorrow morning, we first have to reconcile our budget from the previous paycheck to make sure that all of our numbers work out. I did recently do a video showing how to properly reconcile your budget and your accounts. If you missed that video, again, at some point during this video, I'm going to link that up in the eye in the sky as well. So of course, we are going to start off with the fixed expenses. I did go ahead and pay my car insurance. We had that travel membership come out as well, and now we go down to the variable expenses, which for this month is just the budget. So let's get into the expense tracker. So this past 2 weeks, I still didn't have a whole lot of transactions, but I did spend the majority, if not all, of my variable expense budget for these 2 weeks. Went out to eat a couple of times. Most of the money came from buying supplements and also this business kit or whatever, a couple of business kits actually. We got groceries in there. I did finally need to get gas, which I don't get gas very often. I did have to buy my prenatal vitamins, which that wasn't really, oh, you know what? Matter of fact, we do have to write that in as an unbudgeted variable expense because I do separate my supplements out from my budgeted expenses. So that's going to be $20.86. Let's see, got some stuff at work from the vending machine, which I hate doing, but I was really hungry that night. And that's pretty much it. I did buy 5 pounds of crab legs for my mukbangs that are coming up pretty soon. Did take something back as far as something for my hair, and that's really pretty much it. So let's go ahead and see how much money we have left over in the budget and calculate how much we spent for these last 2 weeks. We're going to reconcile this budget out, and then we're going to move on to the last paycheck to paycheck budget for this month. And okay, so what I like to do when I'm figuring out how much money I have left over, because I do category balances, as you can see, I just go like line by line in my budgeted categories up here. It makes it a whole lot easier. So for groceries, I still have $249.05 left. Personal household, there's $101.69. Miscellaneous, I have $119.97. Restaurants, I have $143.57. Supplements, I still have negative $42.81. I'm gonna be way over this month, but that's okay. Business, I am negative $56.77. Gas, I am at $116.75. Shopping, I still have the whole $150 and then $50 for my mom's birthday. So that means that I still have $831.45 left in my variable expense budget. The last time we did this 2 weeks ago, I had $1304.56 left, which means that I spent $473.11, and I am going to write that number down here. And I'm going to write in red the $473.11. So that's actually not too bad considering I started the month out at $15.80. So I essentially have over half of my budget left, even though I have I have half of my variable expense budget left to spend, even though I'm already 2/3 of the way through this budget, so not too shabby. All right, so we're gonna go down to the reconciliation down here at the bottom. So actually, no, I lied. We're gonna go here first. So for the budget, I spent $473.11, so I'm gonna write that in the total. But like I told you guys, I always separate my supplements out from my budget, because typically I don't spend money on supplements for every like 2-week budget. It's typically only once a month. It just happened to be a little bit different this month because I ran out of prenatals and didn't know. So $476.66, I'm gonna subtract out what I spent on the supplements. So that's going to be an unbudgeted variable expense, and I was over budget $20.86 because of course nothing was budgeted for that. So that means I spent $455.80 on my regular expenses. So if I subtract $476.66 that I had in my budget, and actually minus $20.86, I'm sorry, that's wrong. So this is what I spent all together with variable expenses. This is what the supplements were. So I spent $452.25. So if I subtract that from the $476.66, I was under budget $24.41. And the way I do my math calculation to make sure this is right, my checks and balances, I take what I thought I was gonna spend. I was under budget $24.41, but then I was over budget $20.86. That gives me the $473.11. I did go ahead and send the $524.88 to my savings when I actually did this budget. So let's reconcile at the bottom and be done with this part. So again, I did spend $159.66 on fixed expenses, and then $473.11 for variable expenses. Savings was indeed $524.88. So let's go ahead and calculate this. So what I should come up with as far as the ending balance in my checking account is $47.8402. When I'm doing the reconciliation down here, I'm reconciling out my checking account based on all of my income and my expenses. So let's go ahead and subtract minus $473.11 minus $524.88. That's $46.0529. But I do need to add in what I had left over from my YouTube paycheck after I sent money off to my tax savings. And I did write that here, and I actually did do the YouTube budget. Again, I'll link that up in the eye in the sky. So we are going to add the $178.73 in. $178.73, and that gets me the $47.8402. That should be in my checking account. That is in my checking account. $47.8402, and this is going to end up being my beginning balance for the next budget. All right, so now we can move into the actual budget. So the budget that we're going to be going off of is this one right here, and I haven't gotten paid yet. I get paid at midnight, but because I always work 25 hours, I do everything on like a manual timesheet, so it's always the same paycheck. I did get paid I will get paid $1166.38. The only reason you see 25 here is because my first paycheck was 38, but I didn't know, like, before I did my projections, that my check would continue to be 38. So from now on, I will be able to do my projected income and stuff off of that 38 instead of 25. So this week, all I have is the budgeted expenses, gas, groceries, all of that. I will need to spend a little bit of money on supplements. Again, I won't need the whole 75. I only have to get one of my supplements. Let's see. Rent, probably, I actually don't think I have to start this until May 1st. I just thought that it was going to happen sooner. And then I have my health insurance and my dental insurance. So I'm actually going to make this easy on myself so I don't have to keep coming back and forth. and I'm just gonna take a screenshot. All right, so scoot this a little bit. All right, so for fixed expenses, I am still gonna write in the rent, even though it's not gonna end up needing to be paid yet. And I'm only writing it in because that's how my projected budget looks. So when I'm doing my paycheck to paycheck budgets, I'm really like comparing this to what I projected it to be. So I have to include everything that I wrote down, even if it's gonna end up that I don't pay it. Let's see. We have Wells First, which is my health insurance. That's due on the 1st. And that is $165.22. Then we have Liberty Dental, and I thought it was due on the 1st, but I just got a thing that said that it's actually due on the 31st, so I'll know that from here on out, and that's $954. And then I'm just gonna write unbudgeted. All right, so let's get back to the calculator. So 300, 165.22, and we have 954. 300, 165.22. Okay, perfect. This calculator app that I use is called The Calculator. I always have people ask me that. The Calculator is what it's called. Okay, so if we take what the check is, $1166.38, I subtract what I need for my fixed expenses. That is going to leave me with a remaining of $691.62. Now, as far as the variable expenses go, I have the budget, and that is no due date. The amount is $476.68. And then I have my supplements again, no due date, and that is $75. And then of course we're gonna write in unbudgeted again. All right, so for total, $476.68 plus $75 is gonna give me $551.68. So $691.62 minus the $551.58 is gonna give me a remaining of $140.04. So this is the part that's gonna look a little weird because I'm gonna end up having a negative remaining balance, but it's all gonna balance out in the end. So before I go ahead and calculate how much I'm sending to savings, I'm just gonna go ahead and list everything out. We have the miscellaneous / investment sinking fund, we have the car sinking fund, and then the travel sinking fund. And since this is the end of my budget, I'm also gonna write in the reconciliation down because at the end of every month, however much is in my checking account in excess of $4,000, I shoot everything down from $4,000 off to savings. So if I end up with $5,500, I send $1,500 off to savings at the end of the month. And the reason why I do that is because I really only like to keep 2 to 3 times my monthly expenses in my checking account at all times. $4,000 is a base number that works really good for me. That's the foundation of my account when I start every month. So at the end of every month, I reconcile back down. So we do have to calculate what that's going to be. Now today is the 28th. So this is going to be, I'm going to send this off the 29th tomorrow, like when the money actually comes through. And then the reconciliation will end up happening on February 11th. All right, so let's go ahead and calculate how much we're going to send off to savings. And so this fund is going to get 50% of my savings allocation. This one is going to get 25, and this one is going to get 25%. So if you've never seen me do my income allocation method, by now something should have popped up on the screen showing you guys how to access my free financial empowerment community. I have a very detailed video on my method. Basically, with my method, you do not start allocating money towards savings and extra debt payments until you've earned enough to pay for your fixed expenses, but you still of course have to allocate some for your checking account for your everyday expenses. So I won't get into it in this video, but just know that it's out there. All right, so the 29th, and this is going to be Paycheck 3, 1166.38. So since I've already started allocating, because I've already earned enough money to cover my fixed expenses, 55% of this paycheck when I get paid in the morning is going to stay in my checking for everyday expenses, and then 45% is going to go to savings. You can tell that this works out because if you guys look right now, knowing that $47.8402 is in my checking account, that means that even though I have sent well over, I think I've sent $900 to savings this month, and I've spent money on my fixed and variable expenses, I still have $784.02 to go into the last 2 weeks of my budget for my variable expenses. But on top of that, I have even more money because I'm going to allocate some from this check. So that is the good thing about overestimating your expenses, because as you spend less, you have more money in your account just as a buffer for just in case. Okay, so 1166.38 times 55%. So 641.50, and I should have known this because it's exactly what's up here, is gonna stay in my checking, and then that means 524.88 is gonna go to savings. So really, I don't have to do the calculations because I've done it already, and it's gonna end up being the same thing that I sent here. So guess what? I'm going to take a screenshot, bow, and let's go. Okay, so, and this is why I said it's going to be weird, because you guys see that out of this check, after paying for fixed expenses and variable expenses, I only have $140 left. So most people be like, wait, how can you send $500 to that? Remember, again, we had $700 left over from the last 2 weeks, and we're still going to have some left over for this one. So we're going to send $262.44 to miscellaneous / investment, $131.22, $131.22. We can't yet calculate the reconciliation until we do this part down here, the projection, so I'm going to leave that blank for now. But when I do my total, I like to do the total without the reconciliation. So that is 524.88. So now my remaining again is negative. So 140.04. I'm going to subtract the 524.88. So that's going to leave me at negative 384.84. Again, my rent is not even going to come out, so that leaves me at only negative $84.84. And then I don't really expect to spend all of this budget money for this particular one. The last 2 weeks, it just was a lot of business expenses that kind of came out of nowhere. All right, so let's go ahead and set up the reconciliation down here. So 1166.38 is the income. We're gonna add that to the beginning balance, and actually I'm gonna write in the rest of this real quick. So 551.68 is fixed. Variable is, no, I lied. 474.76 is fixed. 551.68 is variable, and then 524.88 is savings. So 47.8402, we're gonna add the income that we have. That's gonna give me 59.50.40. So I'm gonna subtract what my fixed expenses are, the projected variable, and then what I'm going to send off to savings. That's going to leave me with $43.9908. which means that at the end of the month, if this works out exactly how I have it planned right now, that means when I reconcile my account back down to $4,000, I'm gonna have $399.08 to send off to put myself back down at $4,000. So I'm gonna write that reconciliation number up here, $399.08, and I'm going to really quickly check my math. So beginning balance is here, the total remaining is here, 384 minus 384.84. That leaves me, so there's 10 cents that's messed up somewhere. Let me find that and I'll be right back. Okay, so I figured out where it is, and this is again where I have checks and balances. So basically what I did was I took the beginning balance and I always add or subtract whatever the remaining is, and that should get me what my ending balance would be before I start to reconcile down. And so here we go. So this is what happened. I had an error up here. So 476.68 plus 75 is the 551.68. But if I take the 691.62 minus the 551.68, I should have 139.94 there. So my budget has a lot of different checks and balances that a lot of people don't have, but I have it for this particular reason. I'm very meticulous with my money. I know some people don't like to count the cents with everything. They round up on everything or down. Like, I don't like doing that. I like to be very precise, and I think that's why I am where I am financially. Okay, so now when we subtract, this is gonna be 384.94. So now let's make sure the numbers work out. So 4784.02 minus 384.94 gets me the 4399.08 before I reconcile down. So everything is good there. So at this point, I'm just really quickly gonna write in these first three numbers because I know that part is gonna be correct. 59, 50, 40. And that's there. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and wait for me to get paid at midnight. As soon as I see the check come in, I immediately transfer to savings. I don't waste any time because I don't want that money sitting in my account and me thinking that it's money that I can use for spending, because it's not. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, of course check out what I've linked up in the eye in the sky, because those are the most detailed that I can possibly get without being like over detailed. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, but other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.